Been an injury of some kind going on. Do you feel 100% healthy now?
Yeah, I do. Coming in my first 2 years, it was 3 surgeries basically, but now I feel like I'm at 100%. So we're gonna see how the season goes from here.
What have you been able, now that you are able to actually be on the field, what do you feel like you've accomplished this spring?
Basically the little things and my route running, like my technique wise, I'm always be fast, so stuff like that.
What did you learn about yourself, I guess, through those couple of years where you were just kind of repeatedly injured? Just what did you kind of learn?
Basically, that even though there's always a setback, like I can always overcome those setbacks, basically.
Could you second season with Jaden Daniels, do you feel like there's kind of more chemistry being built between the two of you?
Most definitely. Like we be staying after practice, throwing extra routes, and you see that coming alive in the practices. So, yeah.
Has there been more of an emphasis to sort of, push the field and, make some deeper plays down the field in practice, just sort of working on that and working out with that with Jaden?
Most definitely. Like I know there's more like shot plays being called throughout the practice, so that might be a huge emphasis.
Is that your kind of bread and butter? Are you kind of one of the vertical guys on this team?
Yeah.
What's kind of your role been this spring?
Basically, go down the field and make plays.
Are you working on the outside? Kind of how have you been working at receiver?
Mainly outside, but every now and then I'll be on the inside too.
What are the biggest steps you've seen the offense take in year 2 with most of the offense coming back?
Like I said, a lot more shot plays. Like you didn't really see that many last year, but now they're being called more often.
What does it look like for y'all also as receivers? It seems like there's an emphasis on catch and run routes instead of maybe like a 10 to 15 yard curl or something like that. What does that look like for you as a receiver?
That's something that you want to see, like receivers do, catch and get more extra yards. Like last year, you didn't see that as much, and Coach Hank, he put a big emphasis on that coming into the spring, is yards after catch.
Is it really like a difference in y'all's route tree in any way, or what y'all are calling?
I'd say it's more of a want to, more of it like than being called. It's something that we just put an emphasis on.
How much of an emphasis has it been for you just this offseason and like maybe putting on some weight? I mean, I remember maybe when you first got here, you were a little bit skinnier. Do you feel like you're at a much better kind of weight to where you can really kind of handle some of the hits and what you're going to face this year?
Most definitely. Like coming in, I was probably like 175, maybe something like around that. I'm sitting at close to 185 now. I'm trying to get to 190, so there is a huge emphasis on my weight.
What I mean, if you could you run through like what you've dealt with injury-wise since you got here?
So coming here, my first year, it was this knee, tore my meniscus in this knee. Second year, it was this knee and the shoulder. Yeah.
But what required 3 surgeries, or were those all just separate surgeries?
They're all separate. So tore my meniscus, and torn labrum back here.
Gotcha.
Did you dodge injuries in high school for the most part? I mean, no injuries in high school, or nothing serious?
I had a foot injury in high school, but that was about it.
Yeah. So mentally, how'd you deal with all this stuff right in a row? Bam, bam, bam.
I'm not gonna lie to you, it was kind of tough. I just had to keep my faith in God and knowing that it was His plan and not mine. So I just kept my head down and kept working.
Also, the recovery, what did that recovery process look like for you?
A lot of days in the training room, mostly rehab almost every day, and now we're here. So yeah.
Were you able to go through spring last year with the team? I can't quite remember what that was like. 2022 spring, the first spring under Kelly.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Can you notice a difference between obviously what you guys looked like back then and what it's looked like now, just in terms of the cohesion and just maybe a little bit more understanding of what the day-to-day process is like for this?
Yeah, you can see like things are like smoothing out. They're not like a lot of bumps. So we really are coming together as a team.
You feel like after a couple of knee injuries, is there a mental part to getting back to 100%, or do you feel like when your guy was jumping 7 foot in freshman year of high school, do you feel like you're back to that athleticism again?
I'm not gonna say 100% there, but shoot, I'm pretty close.
For the first time in a while, you would say?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. What went into the decision, I guess, to have that labrum surgery, in the middle of the season last year? Could you have kept playing, or did you just start? What kind of went into that thought process?
So, like, what happened was, it happened early in the spring, and I played with it, and then as I kept going, it kept happening, and eventually, like, we found out it was torn, and at the time, I had only played 4 games, so I could have got the surgery then, and that's what we did, and then I redshirted.
You say it kept happening. What kept happening?
It was like, so I have loose shoulders, so like this one is loose. this one it would like pop out, pop back in, and it would hurt. So that's kind of what happened. And then we like found out it was torn. So that's why y'all see like the little black brace that I have on. Yeah.
Have they been working you on special teams at all, like punt, kick returns, or anything like that, or is it pretty much just receiver work?
It's receiver work, and I'm doing the drills with special teams. Yeah.
Okay.
2 more questions for Chris.
What sort of development have you seen out of Jaden?
I would say poise and basically throwing the ball deep.
Have you seen Malik Neighbors kind of take on more of a leadership role with Kayshawn and Dre off to the league?
Yeah, I have. Like I said, knowing him from like freshman year, sophomore year, not going in now, I've seen like him take huge steps to that leadership role, and I feel like it's gonna help us in the long run.
What do you think he's kind of done differently?
I would say just being more vocal. That's what I would say.
Just what for you? Obviously, like we're talking about this history that you've gone through. So sometimes the spring game can be advantages for some people. Sometimes it's not. Like, what do you see any sort of advantage in actually having like a spring game on Saturday?
For me, I definitely do because, like I said, people haven't really seen my capabilities and what I can do. So like this spring game coming is gonna be huge for me.
Thank you, Chris.